Hello, hello, and welcome back to another live stream. How's it going, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. Happy Thursday. One more day. Plus today, rest of the day. Hey guys, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. I actually got some sleep last night. Find some good? Yeah, find some good. I want to sleep. Still, I want to sleep more. I should point out. I would like more sleep, but to be fair, I would always want more sleep. So this is kind of the normal now. So I'll take it. So yay. I got myself something. Another thing. But this one's good. But this one's actually good. It's heavy. And surprisingly, it has macros. What brand? Keychron. I bought an actual Keychron keyboard, and I got brown switches, which is what I had on the Corsair one, my original one, and then on this one, they're nice and quiet. Hey, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. At this rate, soon you can plaster the wall with keyboards now. That's it. This keyboard's great. I just got it today. Just first, like, feel of it. Like, I don't know if you'll be able to even hear it. Can you hear that? Like, especially at a distance, it sounds great. Like, I was thinking of getting originally custom keys, what's it called? Switches for it. But these are honestly sound great. So, I'm not in any hurry to get those. But this is fully, like, it's a metal case with swappable switches and everything. Like, it's the full on. And it has macro support, it has macro buttons, it is definitely the most expensive keyboard I've ever bought. So, you know, for the price, I guess it better be. But it's like actually good. It is the heaviest keyboard I've ever had. But to be fair, you know, don't exactly move the keyboard very far when I move it forward and back on the desk. So it's fine. Yep. So Got me a keyboard. Now the question becomes, do I return the previous keyboards and deal with that headache? You see it in the wrong way? It's a free workout. Well, it's not much of a workout, I will say. But, yeah. It's not that heavy. But it's a nice heavy. Like, it's nice. It has some, definitely has some weight though. Again, I don't know what the weight of it is. Probably just look it up. It is it was nearly 5 pounds. So this thing is nearly 5 pounds. 4.8. So it's not bad. Yeah. Keyboard lifting the sports for us nerds. Oh my god, that'd be amazing. That if someone could make like different brackets of like keyboard like by weight and everything, and then people just lift keyboards, I think nerds would watch that. I mean, even non-nerds would probably watch that because I think it would be hilarious. But you have to make them like really heavy at the end. But the criteria would need to be have to be all functional keyboards. It can't just be weight. Like, they still have to function as keyboards. And assuming that's the case, I think it'd be quite entertaining. So, go do it. I say that's the go-to. Besides the keyboard, I have already updated the Vine drawing thing for Sunday's tutorial, which is great. So I'm pretty prepared for that. Does an old typing machine count as a keyboard? If it can be hooked, I think a keyboard, the criteria is it has to be hooked up to a computer. If it could be hooked up to a computer and work as a keyboard, like a computer keyboard, I think it will count. Because by that logic, if we're going with anything with keys as a keyboard, then a grand piano is a keyboard. But I feel like at a certain point, that's not what we're talking about anymore. So I feel like the criteria has to be, it has to work as a traditional keyboard hooked up to a computer. It doesn't have to be a modern computer. Like you can use the old ports, but it should still function as. Is he be able to type text with it? Well, no, well, that's what I mean by being able to hook up to a computer. Yeah. And you have to be. But yes, you could theoretically, if somehow hook up a grand piano to a computer and read the notes, then yes, you can turn that into a keyboard. But I don't think anyone. I think the stipulation is if a normal person saw something, they would know that is a keyboard for a computer, and not just it has a keyboard on it. But I think those are details that can be figured out later. Hey, Creation, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Not that different from MIDI. Yeah, I see him. Yeah, like that. But I feel like it should still be a keyboard. I mean, if it's for nerds. I don't know. I wouldn't consider an artist a nerd. Right? Artists aren't necessarily nerds. So if it's for nerds, then I have to like remove like grand pianos and things of that nature. Or maybe they have their own division. There's the music instrument keyboard division and the computer keyboard division. two divisions, depending on the kind of keyboard you're doing. There's different kinds of nerds. Bad nerds are nerds, I guess. So yeah, we'll separate by kind of nerd. Yeah, there you go. You're an anime artist. What do you lift then? Animation tables. You're an anime artist. What do you lift? Is it wrong that the first thing that came to my mind was patties? Like burger patties. 3D anime artist? I mean, 3D anime artist, then you're gonna be lifting trucks and moons. It's all 3D anyway. Pretty easy. You just click a button, simulate physics, and you set the force. You got it. Speaking of freaking 3D characters, though, I'm gonna need to be looking up rigging tomorrow in Unreal for work. I'm gonna be learning that. So we'll see how that goes. I need to rig, and we'll see how easy / hard it is. I saw a bit of a tutorial today. It seems like with a new version, it should be relatively simple. But at first glance, everything is simple. But then there's also like 20 tutorials in the series, and I feel like all I need is the first one, which is bad. Because that means my knowledge of it will be very low. You're expecting to say you have the running with a toast in your mouth workout, no lifting? Oh, yeah. See, I don't watch enough anime of that kind to have seen the running with your toast that often. I know the reference. I've seen it. But I've definitely, like, I feel like it's more of a, in the slice of life and more of that kind of anime. I think it's more popular there. But, because I don't know if I've ever seen it in an actual anime that I've watched. But I definitely know the reference. Anyway. Today, we're making awesome environments. I say that plurally, but that doesn't mean there's going to be plural. Comedic isekais? True. I don't watch too many of those, to be fair. I'm definitely more in the action isekai department. Preferably. Okay. By the way, just a side note, I've already been thinking about how I would do a different designs of these. And I think it'd be like relatively simple to do different like setups of this because it's just cubes and having like for like the base of it. Obviously, like there should still be individual props and stuff, like, you know, the columns and things of that nature. But for like all this stuff, changing the theme of this should be relatively simple in terms of like building it and designing it, which I'm glad about. But this is the kind of the level that we figured out yesterday. That has a good amount of verticality. Hell yeah. For a second, you thought I meant different versions of isekais? Yeah. Is that what you mean? Because there's different isekais. Comedic ones, action ones, right? They're all isekai. Isekai just means going to a different world, but the anime could still be a comedy or an action or whatever. Yeah. That is what I'm talking about. It's not like you wanted to make different. Oh. No, I'm not good enough for that. Yeah, that's not happening. Yeah. I'm not even gonna pretend on that one. You're not good enough for that yet? Look, I don't watch that much anime to be able to, I think, be ever good at that. Okay? Like, I love me some anime, but like, I don't watch to the point where like, yeah, okay, that would be a thing. I think, what am I watching this season? I'm watching 2 things this season. One good thing this season. Because I'm only watching One Frame Man and what's the good one called that I keep forgetting? Name of Gachiakuta. Or Kuza. Is it T? There's a T. This one. One Frame Man is bad animation. Oh, you haven't seen the memes? You haven't seen the memes of One Frame Man? This is legitimately the animation here from the show. This isn't like a joke edited by a fan to make. No, this is from the show. It's One Frame Man. The last couple of episodes finally had some animation put in, but I'll be honest. I think we're 10 episodes out of 12 in, and there's not been a single thing, basically, with the main hero, as in One Punch Man. Where is he? Basically, he's done nothing this entire series. Like, and they're like the last 2 episodes would be like showing off like one of the S-class heroes and another of the S-class heroes. And I'm sitting there like, I don't give a fuck. Where's the guy I'm watching this for? Where's Saitama? Like this is the full one. They have the characters here have more interesting movement than the main thing you're supposed to be looking at. So yeah. They need to deliver a season due to contracts. They don't have. Oh no, that's pretty much. I think everyone at this point has realized that it's not the studio's fault because they're also the ones that did season 2, which was infinitely better than 3. It wasn't as good as 1, but it was better than 3. No, they're pretty much everyone's blaming the ones that hired them at this point. Yeah, that's pretty much. how it is. Unfortunately. But it's bad. It's real bad. Yeah, the other one, the gotchi anime, the trash anime. It's not right calling it that because it's really good. Oh, this needs to be off. Why is this offset? This is not right. Is this right here? It is lined up here. So the problem is this all needs to be scooched over. That? No. That's correct. Wait. No, hold on. This is right. Okay, I just need to do that. I got confused. That's okay. We gotta figure it out. But yeah, One Frame Man is a thing. Unfortunately, I wish One Frame Man was not a thing because I do enjoy. Well, at least I did enjoy One Punch Man Season 1 a lot, like many people out there. So it is kind of sad that it has pretty much come to this. It is what it is. But the other one's fantastic. Like, even there was an episode that had animation, like one of the previous ones, and then I want to watch I know what's the anime. I need to figure. I cannot remember that name. It needs a better name. Gachiakuta. Jesus Christ. And I was like, oh, right, that's what a really good animation looks like. Right, so me thinking like, oh, no, that's animation, you know what, isn't bad, is because... It's purely because I've been just feeling like, oh, finally, it's at least passable, and then I saw good animation, I'm like, oh, never mind. Like, if it's like, I will still watch anime, usually, if it's, like, really bad animation. I'll be honest. Like, if I have nothing better to watch. Because there have been some anime that I've watched that don't have good animation, but there's nothing better, and I'm like, I want to watch some anime, then I'll watch it. I tend to not rewatch too much. Like, I will on occasion, like, want to rewatch things, but usually it's like a handful of anime that I tend to rewatch. One of them is actually No Game, No Life. I wish there was a No Game, No Life season 2. But alas, I cannot have my wish. Oh, did I not? Hey, Kane, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Watched the third season of Record of Ragnarok today. Sometimes a simple fighting anime that has great animation is great. Same for Baki. I have not seen either one of those. I've heard of Baki, the name, but that's it. I think they're not on Crunchyroll, right? To be fair, neither is One Frame Man, but I found a place to watch. Oh my god. You know, maybe it's finally time for me to actually continue watching My Hero Academia if it's number 2 most popular. Why is Kaiju number 8 here? It hasn't been airing for a while. Oh, speaking of anime, oh my god. One of my favorite anime, a lot of my favorite anime had only one season. This is an anime that I genuinely really enjoyed, and I was sad to never see a second season of. And just recently, I saw that they're making a second season. Saga of Tanya the Evil. If you've never seen this anime, it's great. It's good for I would very much recommend. In June of the year 1923, a young girl with blonde hair and blue eyes, Tanya, not gonna pronounce the last name, has entered the final curriculum of the Imperial Military Academy and is training as a 3rd patrol line in the northern. Does this actually tell you? Or training the first step towards a brilliant career. This is a terrible description. I will spoil the first episode. If you don't want to be spoiled, I'll spoil one part of the first episode. Let me phrase that. But it's like at the very beginning of the first episode. So if you don't want to be spoiled, just mute until I lower my hand. Okay, you've been warned. So, basically the premise is it's an isekai where a guy who I think gets hit by a bus, surprisingly enough. It might be one of the only ones, but I don't remember too much of it. But basically he just does not believe in God. God reincarnates him in a new world and he gives him magical power, and he still fights against God in a sense, because God's the one supplying magic to people there who she doesn't believe in God, and it's a whole thing. It's hilarious. It's great. Okay, that was it for the spoiler. If my memory serves, that was like, it's not the main premise, but it was like, it's there, and I found that funny. But it basically, if you like evil, like ruthless characters, if you like military anime, and you like magic, well, that's basically the 3 of these combined. Did you see I say JoJo? Well, yeah, I've seen.
Hold up, ads. Pausing for your sanity.
I've seen, yeah, the new. I'm waiting for the new season. It's coming out. I've seen Jujutsu Kaisen. Yep. Reminds me of 80. Reminds me of 86. I don't know 86. 86 was so good. I maybe I'll rewatch Tanya the Evil. It's been a long time because I watched it when it came out. You started reading the UJJK manga? Nice. When did Tanya the Evil come out? Yeah, Tanya the Evil, Saga of Tanya the Evil came out in 2017. It's been 8 years. But season 2 is confirmed for 2026 release. Apparently there was a trailer. I did not watch the trailer. I don't want to be spoiled. If I know I'm going to be watching something, I don't watch trailers. Yeah. Came out in 2017. It's been a while. Unpopular opinion, you found JoJo's Bizarre Adventure meh? Oh wait, sorry, JoJo's. What? I saw JoJo and I read, and in my head I heard Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen, which is not, no, I've not seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm looking forward to this, but yeah, new 2026. 2026 is gonna be pretty good. Yeah, I never watched the movies. Hey, it's Skronak, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. You bought a what? Oh, wouldn't you like to know? Which is why you asked. It's like £5. Basically military with mind of mech, but it doesn't feel like a mech. More like advanced tanks. I see. When I say that one's military, it's not. It's military in terms of weapons, but it's not military in terms of like. She's not riding a tank. It's magic. It's great. Last Human Town basically spreads propaganda that their drones are without pilots, but in reality, we're going to be controlling and fighting against an AI robot army. That sounds very realistic for this day and age. Showing up. The heck? Oh. Fine, I'll just delete this. And just do one of these. Spice and Wolf as an anime came out in 2009, stopped in the middle of it, but they also changed a lot about its story. Then 2024, they started over again, close to the light novels. It made you extremely happy, so you kind of feel it. I don't read manga or light novels, so I don't have the worry about it, you know, not matching. Like, even for ones that I kind of want to continue, I don't know. I feel like if I know what's gonna happen, the anime is not nearly as interesting to me. But also, but also I'll just be like, oh, they didn't include XYZ. Remember an anime called Girls and Panzers where you watched like 15 years ago? Just cute girls and war tanks. I've heard of this. I've heard of this anime. I've never seen it, but there's an anime. Oh my god, what's the anime? You remind me of anime, or a GIF of an anime that I saw. See if we can find it. Probably not. Oh yeah. Is it? Yeah. This is a different one to the one I saw, but hold on. just oh, by the way, this is a Transformers game. Church is just freaking just entire battleship. There's a few of these. As well, it turns into there's just Transformers of girls, but it's so weird. I don't know what anime this is. I've only ever seen the GIFs. There's another one. Like, yeah, this is a car. It's so weird. I don't know what anime this is. But I've only seen the GIFs of these transforming girls. See if there's any other ones. Why is Ducky Bird on this list? Why is Daddy Phantom on this list? It's of images, that is. I don't see any other ones. But yeah. It's so silly. You think about the car in Gunsmith Cats was so nice? I've never heard of it. And a real car? You're waiting for the German translation of Bungo Stray Dogs? I've seen that. Wait, is that... I've seen that. Is that the... Yes? The one I'm thinking of? I want to say I've seen it because it does look familiar. The name is very familiar. But I have a feeling that I want to say I've definitely seen it because I remember the characters, like seeing them. But I think for me at the time, it probably wasn't very memorable because I couldn't tell you anything about anything in that anime at all. So it, for me, was probably not very good. Unfortunately. There's a second season coming out of it, though. I'm pretty sure, right? Maybe I'll rewatch the first season and see like why it is that I never finished it, or why it is that I just, let me rephrase that, why I don't remember ever seeing it, because I think I saw it, but genuinely do not remember it. I don't remember if I finished it. Voice acting is very good, except for Dragon Ball bit. That's Dragon Ball bit. What? Something similar where the girl turns into a plane. Maybe it's from the same anime. I wouldn't be surprised. The one she drinks gas at a gas station and transforms into a car. I think I saw that. I think that might be the same anime. Yeah, that's the same anime. Because it's the same girl. Right, that's the same girl we were just looking at. Yeah. What anime is this? Henkei Shoujo. Yeah, the anime is called Henkei Shoujo. I find the GIF. Yeah, it seems basically like a ecchi Transformers anime. That's real weird. You know they had a Hatsune Miku starring in Gundam? I don't watch either one of them, so nope, never knew. Gunsmith Cats. It was a blue 1967 Shelby Mustang. My goodness, you know the full car. You must like the car. Or did they just talk about the car on the show? I guess it's also possible. I remember the guy who makes others think that he has special abilities, but in reality he's just a very good detective. Yeah, you're talking about Detective Conan? Detective Conan is one of the oldest running series there is. When I was younger, I watched like a bit of Detective Conan. Oh, Bungo Stray Dogs, is it? Maybe that's what. See, like I remember watching it, but I don't remember. Maybe that's why. Like I thought it was like a powers thing, and I like power anime. Maybe it's because it was a detective thing, and it wasn't very interesting because it was. I don't know. There is one anime that I remember watching, but I cannot remember like what the name of it. It was like a pretty brutal one where there were like two army guys, and I want to say it was also about one of them being a detective, but it was like a God, I can't even describe it because it's been so long. It's been over a decade for sure. Damn, I don't remember it. But I just remember two guys, and I just remember the art style was really cool. Two badass guys. I think they had dog tags. And that's pretty much all I remember. That's not much go on. Let's start here. Gungrave? No. it was it wasn't like a modern used guns type anime. It was more like gritty, I want to say. But yeah, I couldn't tell you at this point, but I remember liking it. It was so long ago. Like, I think it might have been like college when I saw it. I mean, it's probably around then. This needs to... No. Okay. The car, it was like a third hero character in your mind. It was so cool. You didn't know what it was until you watched the anime when you were younger. Do you recognize it as a real car? Cool. Hey, sir, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. Your new game is going very well, very efficient compared to anything you have made before. You've made about 50 animations so far in Blender for Pokemon with your own rig and all. Nice. Yeah, I was mentioning earlier in the stream, I need to actually figure out how to rig for work tomorrow, so I'll be learning that. Yippee. Can I make this somehow just a little bit? Yeah, just a little bit off. Not that much off. Ah, but it doesn't. What's going on here? What do I want to do? One of these? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You gonna send a pic of your anim graph in Discord? Your anim graph? I'm sorry, why do you have what do you mean your anim graph? And maybe it takes a while, but you did just make 2 attacks in about 20 or 30 minutes. Nice. I don't know, once I rig something, I mean, I'll try animating in Unreal just to see how it is, but at the same time, probably not, because I don't really have any characters that could animate. All my characters right now are sprites. So kind of hard to animate those. By hard, I really mean impossible, technically. Hey, Blue Sneaker, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. I just want to go further. Okay, there we go. There we go. Cat picture? Oh. To everyone I offended this year, work on yourself. See, I don't do it again next year. I like that. Oh, animation blueprint graph. Got it. I thought you meant literally your animation keyframes. Let's see what you got. You got an idle. You got a jump. That goes into a fall. That goes into a land and then back. Yeah. You got a is this a hold attack? Like a continuous attack? Is that why it's animation blueprint? Like both of these? Because if these are like one-offs, like you just attack, make it just a montage you play. And then as just a word of advice, you'd want to go back to idle. You don't want to do both to idle and to walk. The reason is when you go back to idle, it will automatically put you in walk if you're supposed to be in walk. So you don't need the extra connection. So a lot of times going from idle to somewhere else, you can always go back to idle, and from idle, it'll automatically transition to wherever it needs to be, like walking. So these two connections here are not needed. From walk, yeah, you do want to go onto a moving jump if it's a separate animation, and then right, this is if you have separate animation specifically from walking, then you would do this. Otherwise, you could always go back to idle and then jump. You had it only to walk, but it froze your animation, so you had the extra. No, don't have it only to walk. Have it only to idle. So to go to and from idle. But again, this is only if your attacks are continuous animations. If you're not looping in them, you don't even need this here. You just play an animation blueprint, and then it will just automatically go back to what it was doing before. So consider just using playing montage. That's a little bit of help I can give. This is arguably my favorite Pokemon, by the way. Don't mess it up. when I was a kid, I watched Pokemon the first movie, which, by the way, terrible name. And can I just say, terrible name? But I saw it, and yeah, that's when Mewtwo became my favorite Pokemon. Hey, Ninja Sonar, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. See, someone else is looking to be on the receiving end of a Nintendo lawsuit. AMA. I don't want anything to do with Nintendo. You've been trying very hard not to mess them up. God. Unless money is involved, or the project gets big enough, Nintendo doesn't usually do anything. If you start having money involved, yeah, them and Nintendo is going to get on your ass. The montage with blend. Montage is I think that you can blend montages. I think. To your awareness, Nintendo can't do anything if you don't publish or distribute. Oh yeah, obviously. If you're doing things for yourself, yeah, they're not gonna do shit. They can't. There's nothing to go after. Oh yeah. Don't worry. I don't think anyone took that as serious. You're good. Everyone knows how litigious Nintendo is. Unfortunately, all too well. That's why I haven't bought a I haven't bought a Nintendo thing since well, I had 3DS. I don't remember if I bought much on it. Where's my 3DS now I think about it? I could actually go find it and see what's on the 3DS. Next time ads play, I might do that. I think I know where it is. I don't have very many games on the 3DS. I have like 4 or something. You always have the first and the last frame of each animation the same. That wouldn't matter unless you're doing literally montage to montage. That's not how that works. Oh, that's. Let me see if I can grab it real quick.
The ritual sacrifice to our corporate overlords has begun. Pausing.
I checked 3 different locations. I do not remember where it is. It's not any of those 3 locations. Your attacks start out in idle pose. Next frame. So when you're using animation blueprints, it automatically blends. So what your starting and last frame are don't matter because it just blends between them. Just keep that in mind. Yeah, absolutely, Ninja Soda. No worries. I had to reference some of your stuff to finish your PCG in static mesh to actor back to in static mesh system for your project. So PCG instead to actor, which is just default PCG. So you just wanted to convert in static meshes to static meshes? Is that what you were doing? Because, right, PCG already spawns the actor with static mesh, so I assume you just wanted to get the static mesh back to... Wait, no. Both are static meshes. You lost me. You stopped buying Nintendo after they did the $99 for 2 game deal, had to buy their online stuff, and then was forced due to time to get the game you didn't really want. Oof. If you animate a jump, do not move the character in Blender. If you do, it moves double the height in Unreal because the capsule component also moves. Yeah, so that's yeah, you don't want to do typically a quote-unquote jump if you have root motion. The root motion is your jump. You just play the animation and your character jumps. You just play by playing animation. So you wouldn't execute like an actual jump effect. You only do that if it's not moving. But if you're using a root motion to move your character up, that is already your jump. You already controlled that. So yeah, you don't want to do both because then yeah, you have stacks. Yep. That is indeed how it works. I just realized that with the new system, I'll be able to just paint all the roads in. Oh, there's gonna be a whole new system for this in 5.7. It's okay. Can I do this way instead? No, this way seems better. So based on a sphere on a player, any PCG in static mesh will convert to a corresponding blueprint actor you create. So you can harvest, put logic, health, etc. Then when you leave it, you use the transform. Oh, are you talking about just instance actors? So anything far away is an static mesh, and close up is a blueprint actor, so you can do things with it. That's what an instance actor is. I think that's what you're describing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you don't know, that's already built-in functionality that you have access to, so you don't need to do anything custom for that. I'm not sure if you knew. I have tutorials for it as well. Where, what the hell did I call it? Oh, it's not instant static mesh. I keep saying instant static mesh. Instant actor. Instant actor is what I'm talking about. Why do I keep saying? Actually, I just did I show? Oh, this is when I was not showing properly. Yeah, so here, right, they're actors at the big, like near me, and then when I run away, they become just instant static meshes. This is just built-in functionality. Instance actors. Instanced actors is what I'm talking about. So this was me making it so you could have like physics actors as well, and they'll pop back, just showing you can do with physics things. You can control the distance and all. Yeah, this is yeah, built in. Remember that bit? Nice. Hi, Ak. Welcome in. Hypergames mesh to actor swap on Fab. We basically built a less difficult to understand version of that. Hypergames mesh to actor. This is already that, but it's just built in. I'm just curious now. What is this? Is a powerful way to optimize game performance while keeping blah blah blah. Dynamic mesh type swapping. Swap meshes, transition from static to stationary meshes, enable interactivity. Yeah, this is just this, but with more steps. Yeah. At close distance, this has functionality. At different distance, it stops having functionality. And here I even show how you can store something having a headpiece and not. So yeah, if you need it, if anyone needs it. This is how to do with the built-in functionality. I don't know if yours is more advanced than this, but this is just like the basics of it, and it's just built-in functionality, so you can use this and build on top of it. Okay. And I have videos after that one too that shows like see. Searching title. I search description. Actor. So here's another use case for it. Right, this is using that same system. So this is the Fall Guys game, and basically only the ones near me are converted to blueprints, or are actually blueprints. Everything else is just part of the ISM, and so this is just Fall Guys now. Yeah. The same functionality, and you can even do, because I have more that use similar setup. Right, you can even. You remember that vid too? 2 for 2? Nice. Let's see if you got 3 for 3. This is the last one. This, where just literally I just have, right, it doesn't show anything because it's not a static mesh, so the lights just turn on because the blueprint loads in and then unloads, which is basically you can just use it to create a easy spooky hallway that just has lights appear in front of you and disappear behind you. Easy peasy. One thing you have is the ISM respawning on a timer, and you have health and all that gets remembered based on a unique ID gets assigned. You can just regenerate the graph, the PCG graph, and then you have things back to where they were. You do a cleanup, generate, done. Remember you helped me with a light like that about the month before you did that vid? Did I? I don't remember. Happy to help, I guess. Dress line. Okay, let's get the cliffs in here. I don't know why it's bad. Yours so much easier. You had a tangle mess of nodes and you helped me reduce to about a tenth of that. Then you made that video and knocked it down to about 3 steps. Also 3 for 3 week. Woo! Thank you so much for watching the videos. I really appreciate it. It's thanks to people like you that I'm even making them. So I appreciate it. Okay. Oh, wow, these are actually on 0? What? That never happens. Huh. Cool. You just wish you didn't have to hear about turning on PCG anymore? The thing that I've always been taught is every video needs to be standalone. And so I have to assume that it's going to be basically someone that's first time using PCG. And so because of that, I have to say, hey, here's how you turn it on if you don't have it turned on. Because I wish people would watch obviously all the videos in order, but some videos obviously go out of date. And so I get a lot of questions that are the same all the time. So at least that's not one of them. Basically. But I too wish I didn't have to say that every single time and edit that section every single time. So, you know, you and me both. You might be lost in bitch in the comments otherwise. Yeah, people get upset for all sorts of things. All sorts of things that don't matter. Yeah, I'll move the pieces around after, actually. I just get these up the right altitude. Taller. All right, so let's take a look. Excuse me? Did I? Why is that not gone? Is it not this one? This is, oh, this is the wall remover. No, I wanted you. There we go. Gotta turn on PCG again. So first you want to go to edit, plugins, and then you search PCG. Oh wait. Alright. So this is, I just need a 4 here, right? There you go. Honestly, that's better. And that fixes that problem there. Okay. When you first started Unreal, you were highly upset that that was needed. Tutorial didn't describe how you made a simple variable. Look, I've gotten comments like that too on my getting started with PCG video. I probably find them, but basically, like, somebody was nice. I probably need to extend this so it doesn't look like this. Somebody was like, "That's not really a basics of PCG basics video. You don't even go over like what variables are or like stuff like that." And I'm like, yeah, but I feel like PCG is a more advanced things in general. I think if you're going through the trouble of enabling a plugin that is not on by default, you already know enough. You should know enough of the basics of Unreal, in my opinion. Like, you should know how to navigate Unreal. You should know what a blueprint is. You should know what a variable is, because PCG is more an advanced topic, right, than just navigating stuff around. So while I do show how to turn on PCG, and I'll go over like what things in PCG do, I don't cover like this is what a branch is, right? This is what a branch node is, because it's assumed that, hey, a branch is a branch everywhere, so you should know this. Now you've gone that question, even if not serious. That's fine. So many times you've got lost doing something new to you. When someone skips a simple step, everyone should know. Yeah, but the thing is, right, if you don't know something like a simple step, you could search up that step, and because it is a simple step, you should be able to find that information very easily. Right, let's say you don't know what a node is. You can find that information super easily by just Googling it or asking Grok or something, right? And so for stuff like that, I don't think it's a big deal skipping something like super basic. With that plugin, do we need to restart? Oh yeah. And restart your engine as needed. Enable procedural content generation framework, PCG, which is, by the way, always a mouthful, and restart your engine as needed, because it always asks you to restart Unreal when you enable it. Yep. How dare you argue with a customer, sir? I want to know what a branch is. No, I'm not, Skronek, I'm not arguing with a customer. I'm just telling you the customer needs at least an A to attend this class. They need to have at least passed the previous class to attend this. This is an advanced class. Okay? We only accept A students in this class. You can search it if you know enough to catch what they did and not think it was magic. Did not think it was magic. I mean, yeah, but if it's just like a node, they use a node that you don't understand what it was, then you can look it up, like what that node is and stuff like that. You can mess with them. And speaking of ranch sauce. Yeah, I'll give that like a 2 out of 10. So like Unreal 80 before 101. No. This is PCG 101. And so this requires Unreal Basics 301. So you know the advanced of the basics to be able to attend the basics of the PCG. Tree time. All I have to say is that is BCGZ. You joined the BCG after Unreal 102. Oops. I mean, 102 is, it's okay. To be fair, I don't understand what those numbers actually mean. I know 101 is like the basics, because that's just like the saying. Well, I don't know if it's a saying, but like that's what I know it from. I didn't go to a school or college rather that actually used these numbers, so I don't actually know what it's supposed to be, like what the numbers actually mean. I went to an accelerated college, I guess you could say. Basically, I got a bachelor's degree in just under 3 years. The classes were structured. You just stuck with your class all the way through. It was a set curriculum. It was 5 week classes. You had 2 classes at a time for 5 weeks, and you need to learn the entire curriculum of the entire class in 5 weeks. And was 8-hour days per class. So you'd have 2 classes. One was 3 days a week. One is 2 days a week, I believe. And they were 8 hours, 8-hour blocks, which usually was 4 hours of lecture and like teaching, and 4 hours of basically like study, you could call it. I'll put a tree in the middle.
Stream pause because apparently Twitch thinks you need to buy a truck right now.
"101 basic, 102 little more, 201 next level." That's how you see it. Okay, so is there a 199? Is there a 111? Because I feel like at a certain point, that's not a little, like, right? I feel like you don't need like 10 classes in something like that. So, but if that's the case, if it never goes to even 110 or 111, then why would there be 3 digits? Why wouldn't it be 2 digits? Why isn't it just 11, 12, 21? Right, why is there a 0 then? Now you young bastards can get the college credit in high school. You're so mad about that? Not fair. I got a lot of college credits in high school, and then I didn't use almost any of them. Basically, none of them. Speaking of 101, you will 1v1 your bed now? If you win, do you go to sleep? Or if the bed wins, do you go to sleep? I don't know which one I want to win yet. I want the one that goes to sleep to win. 103 is the most normally? Yeah, then why is there a 0 even? They did like room numbers in a hotel? Are room numbers in a hotel like that? Huh. I've never paid attention. I'll be honest, I've never paid attention to that. I have one of them have a lot, and then one of them have very few, I think. I might put a little cliff here. We'll tell it to be not hollow. I need smaller pieces. I can only have both of them or one of them. Damn it. Okay, fine. Let's do one of these. A little bit of difference here. Each floor gets 100 added on. So is it like literally floor? But it's not floors of a building, right? 101 doesn't necessarily mean you're on the first floor. So even if there are only 60 rooms, the first room on the third floor will be 300? I don't think so, because I doubt they, like, so what, you can never have an advanced class of the 300 if it's only a 2-floor building? Man. That's how you pick your college. You figure out which college has the most floors, because that's where you get the most advanced classes. How many floors high is Harvard? How many stories is the Harvard building. There isn't one single Harvard building. It's a large university with many, but some prominent ones have distinct heights. Like, one of them has a 19-story tower, 12 stories. Oh, yes, that's why Harvard is very good. Freaking 19 stories. They have a 1,901 class. No wonder people want to go there. Skiing floor 13. Yeah, they do that. I'll be honest. It bothers me when they do skip the floor 13. Not actually bother, but like kind of bother. Like a lot of apartment buildings will skip floor 13. And I don't know. I feel like I don't know. No, this thing doesn't work here. I tried there, it doesn't work. They do like a Dewey Decimal System, but for rooms. No, I get it. I get it. To be fair, I think, you know what? I think my college didn't have floors. I think everything was on a single floor. Also, my college is closed. The college I went to is closed. Because they shut down. Yeah, I think it was one floor, but they're shut down now. Closed in late 2022. I mean, to be fair, after I left, they kind of did go really downhill. They changed to 8-week courses instead of 5-week. And then they got rid of a ton of teachers. Basically, the way it was a little bit after I left was originally you could teach at the school if you just were in the industry. As long as you were in the industry, you did not need to have a degree in teaching to teach. Which, in my opinion, is great. Because that means that you get taught by people who actually know what the hell they're doing in the industry, versus teachers, while good at teaching, are clearly not working in the industry at that moment. So to me, that was like awesome. So So, but a little bit afterwards, they changed the policy and made it so you either needed to have a master's degree to teach or a teaching degree to teach. And like, we had people when I was there that worked at Pixar teaching classes. And I don't know about you, but a lot of people were very happy about having people that literally worked at that time working at Pixar teaching classes. Because, I mean, you can imagine. But, you know, obviously they don't have teaching or master's degree. They're just in the industry. So, I guess after a while, after their... It's probably they got bought out. And when they got bought out, that's when things started to change because they wanted to... I think it was... it might have been an accreditation thing where they might lose it if they didn't change. I don't know. I don't know. I don't care. It was after my time. But yeah, things started to change, and then it was their end. You left, and they were so sad they closed up shop. Maybe because the nice thing about that is, again, it was a small place. But like they had an open door policy where if you were an alumni, you could just come back and just use the facilities for free. It was great. So like after I graduated, I went to work on some stuff, and I came back, and like I would just then sit in the back of the, one of the classes that one of the teachers that I still knew there. I just hung out in the back of that class and just did my own work. Like I just listened in, and like it was just nice just being around other people that were working on things as well. Like I wasn't there to learn from the class. I was just there like in the back, free computer. Let me just do some work. And then I would just chat with the students and things like that. After a while, they also closed that down, I heard. And then things started to change. It was a whole thing. It is what it is. But I enjoyed my time at the college. It was genuinely like some of the best time of my life. If not the best time of my life. But alas, it was never meant to last. I want to put a small one here. I want a small one. There you go. That's a small one. You went back to school and got classes to play your game and give feedback on your questionnaire. That was helpful. I wish I could do that. I wonder... It's a random thought that I just had. Could you, in theory, reach out to a college that has like game dev or something and be like, hey, I'm working on a game. Like, can people in your class like play this game and provide feedback as part of the game dev class? Obviously, you need to probably have some connection to the school already or know the person to be able to ask that, but if you do have connections, I mean, maybe that could be a thing. Or you can ask just the nearby school you have. But ideally, probably would first try to make a connection with someone in the school that teaches that class or something, or knows someone in that class or something. I don't want to go too big here because it's going to block the entire view, right? I mean, honestly, it's fine. Okay. That's our trees. They seem to really like that sort of thing. They need to teach that stuff, or they did at your school, so I'm sure that they'd be welcome. You need to find one. You would need to find the school that you'd want to try, and you'd also need to figure out what their curriculum is and what they teach, because obviously, if that is not part of their curriculum, just like, then it would be harder to get them to like try out your game and get feedback that way. But if it is like already kind of part of the curriculum, then maybe they can, you'd be able to do that. So, well, possibly. Okay, what do we want to put in here? Let's start figuring that out. I do want to put like some kind of temple thing. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will reach out to a college or something at some point. I don't know. I don't think I'm at that point yet. So this is going to be replaced with you. It seems like a decent spot for it. Look up a school that does a games course that is generalized, not just learn Blender. A school where you get a real degree and then you do a game. I think there is one around here. At least I think I've seen advertising for it. I don't know where it is, but either way, this would definitely be like a next year type thing, if I even tried. But yeah. California, Texas, and North Carolina have a bunch of stuff in gaming. I'm not even in America, Skronik. So while that is cool, I'm technically not even in America. But I think there's one nearby here. I definitely want one that is local. But were you going to walk it to them? Well, I'd probably want to, go to the class. Most likely they'd want me to like, hey, if I'm gonna be there to introduce it. Yeah, probably. I'd want it to be local. Yeah. Because it's getting feedback is one thing. if you somehow got to get the feedback from the people directly and you saw them trying it, right? That's far more valuable. Just saying. I'm saying that's like the one way to do it, but it would be nice. You might be better for true feedback not to. It might be better for true feedback not to. What does it matter? I feel like in either case, it doesn't matter much, but you were there to help to watch people struggle to play. They might not even have known that they are having a problem. I think it would have felt more free, to be honest, if you weren't. I think it depends on how you present it. If you go in and be like, I want feedback for the game, people might be shy about it. But if you go in and be like, there are problems in this game, I want you to find them, all of a sudden people are motivated to give you specifically what is wrong with your game. You see, you're getting the same result, you're getting the same answer, but you've changed how you're looking for that answer. So all of a sudden they're like, oh, I need to find the problems because maybe that's how they're going to be graded now, let's say. And if the person finds the most issues, see, change it a little. Try to talk to as little as possible, other than say you used to go there. Don't go easy on you. Yeah. It helps if you went to the school, obviously. You'd have the connections there already. That would definitely simplify things somewhat. way. Do that. Hey, Ice Creek, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. How's the game? Game's going well. Just setting up one of the environments. Figure out what we want to do and set up here. I think I'm going to put another one of these stone areas. Over here. I'll put a statue there. And put it here, and then grab us one of you guys. Thinking. Considering it always looks at an angle, I think it would be a good fit. Yep. And then we can do a angled one to kind of blend here. Yeah, there you go. I think that's better. Only thing is, I haven't used these in a while. Maybe it's time. Is that terrible? No, I don't think it's terrible. I think one of them needs to be definitely lower than the other. But you do see them through here, though. Well, that can be easily resolved. You. And now we don't see it anymore. Ta-da! It's like magic. Guys, look, magic is real. I'm a real boy. And apparently magic has made me hallucinate. I'm not a boy, I'm a man.
Stream paused. Don't worry, the shampoo ad isn't plot relevant.
Thanks, Bart. Really think they would jump at the chance to playtest something that looks professional? Like Leon, sorry, movie reference. Gotta make food, have fun creating. Bye-bye. Have a good one, Skronek. Thanks, time bye. I'm actually gonna get a drink. I'll be right back. And I'm already back. Okay, I think this area is starting to look is a lot better. We can have mobs here and all that. I don't want to fill this place out too much on this island, so this one I think is fine. What do we want to do here? I think on this one I want to up the dirt quantity as well. What do we want to put here? You know what I haven't used in a while? These guys. Why not? Throw those guys down. Let's throw a nice pot. Pot doesn't make sense. I don't really have pots there anywhere. I have it in the hub, and I have these in the hub like this. I think the pot doesn't really make too much sense though. What I could do though is put a pedestal. What would I could have put on it though? I mean, I could put the pot on the pedestal, like I always do. Can I make it so it's a little bit in now? Perfect. I wanted to hug it, basically. Okay, looking good. I don't think we need to have too much else on this one. Next one. Okay, what do we have here? Maybe I'll have a few more. You know what? Let's have another area. Kind of having a lot of this kind of setup, I feel like would actually be good if I had it in a few locations. How could I make it fit though? Could I make it fit? I could do it here. The problem is this road. So what we can do is maybe something like this. I could then break maybe both of these. Should I break both of them? Do I break only one? Let's see what it looks like actually on the ground. I feel like if anything, I would maybe break this. I mean, I would have the same problem, right? If it was angled this way, it would be from this angle or this angle. The only angle that wouldn't have this problem with is this one. Of it, like, blocking the camera at all. So let's, you know what? I'll kill this one as well. And then I'll drop it nearby. I always like dropping them next to the walls here, so that way it's kind of out of the play area. You still see it. You still get to be like, oh yeah, there's the pillar, it fell down. But it's not actually interfering in terms of navigation. So mobs and the player can navigate wherever they'd like. And I think I'll just do the broken up paths here. So we'll just use the star ones at an angle. Can it be like, if it's this way? This way's better. That is better. It's a little one here. Can I have it just... Yeah, oh, like that. Up. Did I not hold alt? Just work. Oh, there we go. Actually works fine. Okay. Okay. There's a lot of blockers here. The one I don't like is this one. So I'm going to actually remove this one. That should be better. Yeah, it still blocks a little, but it's kind of in the corner here. Surprisingly, like it's like you can barely see. You can still see it if you like focus and you know where your character is. You can kind of make it out. But this one, you definitely see it more. This one, I think it's probably because it's blurry. It's going through a blur layer. So it's making the character blurry, so it's harder to see. Well, can't really do much about that one. I still want it blurry. Okay. Next. Kind of want to put something there. I need to be here, I guess. Let's unlock the rotate. I'll just give it a slide rotation. Okay. So this one's good, this one's good. Okay, what are we doing on this one? On this island, I don't want to do another one of these. So, this one could be... I could put archers on this one. The archers don't really look that great, honestly. Right, these guys. Although having one isn't terrible. We could have the one. And then throw in some rocks. To get better rocks. I guess I should have just added some also. It's not like the placements were bad. Too many. Now let's randomize. That's not bad. They're all kind of mostly clumped here. I'm kind of okay with that. Okay, let's try a few more here as well. I don't like that rock, is the only thing. And definitely don't like that one. Yeah, let's randomize it. That's not a bad rock. Randomized one inside of there somehow. I can get rid of that one. There we go. Yeah, let's go with this probably. Let's see if we can increase it even more. I don't want to go that far. Because if we go this far, mods will have trouble getting in there. Yeah, this is fine. And then we'll throw in kind of the same thing we did here with a broken stone. All right, something like this. I think that's nice. Right. We have a little bit of something here. Again, it'll give plenty of room for enemies and to have a little variety here. I might honestly place another one of you guys here. Okay. On this island, I think we just put some rocks. Do we just put some rocks, or do we throw in something that's been knocked over? I think we throw in a knocked over pot. Nice knocked over pot on one side. And maybe the statue on the other, honestly. Gonna be too much if I had both of them? I think it will be. I think we just want to go with that one. Okay. That seems good. Now, the final island. I don't want to go crazy on this one. I want to have more fighting room on this one. So, I think we just throw in some rocks. And for this one, we'll be relatively plain. I don't want it spawning on the trees. And it's really liking spawning on the trees. Or in that one spot. Yeah, let's go ahead and just do one of these. Randomize. I don't mind it, honestly. Mobs can't really go in there, and neither can you, so it's all fair. Okay, this one we don't want a lot of rocks. We just randomize low. Honestly, that's actually not bad. I kind of like this. I almost want to put something in the side of the center now. I wasn't planning on it, but now. But now. Is that going to interfere with the walking? No, we can actually walk over it. And walk over these because they're not very high. Yep. No, that's fine. Some of them are still obviously too big. All right, this was too big. That one should be fine. Yeah. That seems good to me. I feel like this spot here could use something. What could it use? And we haven't used these too much. So maybe it's time to start using them more. Yeah. Okay. I think that's not bad. Okay, got a little bit of interest here. But here, all of them are different. Which is the main thing. This one's kind of similar to the other one, but similar to this, but I think that's fine. Do I want to make this pillar here broken as well? Is the only thing. Just because of this spot here. And I think I kind of do. It does mean both of them have broken ones. So this one has 2 diagonal broken ones, and this one also has 2 diagonal broken ones. Is it too little if it's this? No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think it's still fine. I think even with the broken ones, it's fine, and we no longer have the pillars from above interfering. I think that is better. I think that is an improvement. Let's go ahead and actually make this thing a little more interesting, though. Can I just remove this one? Yes. Yes, I can. Where's the hole? There is no hole on the side. Why is there no hole on the side? It most certainly needs a hole in the side. Yeah, there we go. We get 2 holes on that side. Perfect. And then we can do a bit of a connection here. Okay. Maybe I should have it go all the way up, actually. Don't alt and drag when you don't select it. We can do something like this, make it a little more interesting here. We don't need to go nearly as far because we run into the rocks here a lot quicker. So we just do something like this, and honestly, it's probably going to be plenty. Yep. Okay. I like that. I should do something like that, honestly, on all the stairs. I haven't been. But honestly, that looks nice. So... That is kind of one of the things it was made for, to be fair. Was stuff like this, so I don't know why I haven't been using it more. Right, even something like that, I think, helps out. But mostly, I think it's going to be more helpful on this one. And if we just have a little bit of a hole here, it's gonna look nice. There you go. Let's do it on the other side. And I'll use my pan-pending trick of flipping it upside down. And then just slightly tweaking it. Because it works very well. You cannot tell. It actually works so well. That's the trick. Now work smarter, not harder. How do I make this more interesting? Cut it. No, but I still need that. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, that's nice.
Timeline on lockdown while Twitch reminds us that food delivery exists.
I think I have too many of those, the Twitch ones. Is what I'm realizing. I need to tweak them and not have as many. I didn't realize I even put as many. Or maybe they're just randomizing so much. Because there's 20 different randomizations on that. But I feel like the Twitch related ones appear all the time. And I want to say there's like 3 of them, tops. I'll revisit it when I get a chance. I'll just copy this one there as well. It won't even notice. Let's go. Copy. Rotate. This one probably needs to be this way. Yep. And this side we don't see. This one's already blocked off by some rocks. Good. This one is fine. Big hole is fine. We don't really see this one. From this side, it's also fine, though. All right, don't see or fine. Cool. Okay. I think that was a good suggestion. A good idea to do that. I think it worked out. Yeah. Okay. Next up, ooh. Do I want to move that out a little? I think that's better. Because now you actually see... You see it, and there's a little bit of a gap there. I like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and add in the mob locations and the active item thing, which I kind of want to rework how that is collected. I just haven't thought of a good idea yet for it. Okay, so we want to grab this and this. Copy. There's the mob, and there's this thing. Okay, where do we want the item to be? I kind of want to put it right there. Between these guys. Right there is good. Okay. Mob spot locations. Let's do one over here. One over here. One here. So when you're here, these guys will probably start coming. And one here. We'll have just one on this guy, and one over here. Hey, Nash fan. Not Nash fan. Navan. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Good morning. Just want to ask a quick question. Is there a way to spawn paths without using a spline mesh component and make them look good and optimize either? What do you mean by good, look good and optimized? PCG is already relatively optimized. Spline mesh components essentially unusable for large worlds. Then don't use spline meshes and use regular meshes that you've pre-designed to fit together. Right? Use modules. You want a module that's a straight line, a module that is a bend, and you just use those. If you can't use spline meshes. Right? That's your that's what you gotta do. And at least I don't know any other alternative compared to that. 8 spawners here. And is spline mesh component unusable because you can't partition it? I assume. So you can't have something going across like too big of an area. I mean, you could use spline meshes. You just need to design them in a way that they end specifically at partition grids. As long as the end specifically on partition and still line up with the next partition grid as a new spline mesh, then you can, in the partition sections, still use them. It's just you couldn't use like one across the entire thing. You want to use just one basic shape of a cuboid, not any intersections or so, but for a really large area. By using static mesh spawner, there are visible gaps. Yeah, so just, I think you're just going to need to take the time and build it out of separate ones, but make sure that it lines up with the partition grid, and then you can have it nice. Then you can have it look nice, basically. All right, so basically what I'm talking about is, why does this look like this? Oh God, is it broken again? Why? Excalibur, you've been having so many issues recently. Can I draw? Nope. Okay. Let's go old school. No. Nice. Okay. So, like, if this is your map, and this is your partitions, right? You would have, your spline like this, and then this is your spline, and then you'd have another one from here, right, going here, right, and then another one, doing this. Point is, right, you'd still use them. You just need to make sure that these two line up as separate splines. So you're not using world partition. This is for an ArcVis project, and you need the world to be fully loaded for almost all the time. But if it's for ArcVis, then then why can't you do spline meshes? Then I'm confused. Are you trying to eat? ArcVis is not even for playing, it's for just showing. So why can't you do spline meshes then? Because the only reason you couldn't do spline meshes on a large world is if partition, but if you're not using partition, then yeah, you could do spline meshes. That's absolutely the way to go, I would think. Oh, wait. Oh, why is this disconnected? Oopsie. You want 8 on this next one. This is... Oh, no, we're using Sky Return 8, so we don't need a new one. We should modify the one we had. Sky Grid turn a second one. 8 now. We had 4 before? Spline meshes are too heavy. Even if you're converting an area of 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer, it simply doesn't work for us. You build worlds around 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers per project. Yeah, that's no. Unreal isn't designed to have such massive things loaded all together all at once. That's kind of the main problem I think you're having. Because normally you would just you would partition it. So that's why you don't load everything. Otherwise, your machine catches on fire, effectively. And I have no idea how you would load such a massive thing all at once. Even on a 5090, like, good luck. I have no idea. Like, stuff like that is used done with like massive amounts of LODs. Yeah. And culling. But if you don't want to cull and you're doing a massive thing, I genuinely don't know. Trying for Blackwell's 5090 is the standard. I'm assuming you're rendering, but again, I guess as long as your computer can handle it, but I don't know. Spline meshes haven't been, like, I've never seen a spline mesh to the point where it breaks things, personally. But it depends on what you're putting on the spline mesh. Because it's not, unless you're like doing every like 2 feet a new mesh and you're doing it for kilometers, then yeah, you'd have too many spawning and too many unique ones. But if you're doing like, you have a large one that's just being bent mostly, it shouldn't be a problem. Oh no. I don't have a solution to you. I deal more in the game world, so I don't necessarily have a good answer for you. Sorry. That was your mistake. You were using really small rope pieces, like around 5-6 feet. You'll try larger ones. Yeah, 5-6 feet. If you're doing 8 kilometers, is way too tiny. Like, your road piece should be like then substantial in size. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, it depends, right? I don't know. You're saying you're doing ArcViz, but I've never seen ArcViz on a large scale. I've done ArcViz in the past, but I've done interior ArcViz. I've never even seen exterior ArcViz, so I don't know, like, do you zoom in on the roads? If you're from a distance, you can get away with so much, so much lower quality. I don't know. But yeah, you need to basically have less stuff on that spline mesh if you want to use a spline mesh. But I don't know how you do 8K either way. And the entire city also, it's not just renders, it's also a real-time interactive app. Real-time interactive app. I mean, I guess if you're requiring people to have 5090s, I guess that can check out. This place might have too many mobs. Maybe not. Probably fine. Probably fine. Jesus, coping. I already have the exits, entrances. Good. Here, let's kill the lighting. And let's reset up the... It's got to return A. Build. Good. So let's see about getting our little new area spawning. Yeah, for the interactive stuff though, like if you're anywhere on, like if you're anywhere inside of that map, you can't see a kilometer away. That should be not rendered. That should be partitioned. In my opinion. Like, why are you loading things that are not anywhere near? So, I don't know. So, still gotta replace that one. That's the shop one. Is this a... No, it's not a 2-floor one. It's a 3-floor one. So we gotta replace this one as well. Did we not get that one at all in this generation? Of course we didn't. One more try. Oh, come on. What's the trouble of making it? Generate, damn it. Okay. One more time. You want to use world partition, but issue is your buildings are almost always around 70 floors high. In that case, from terrace view, etc., you could see really far and have a camera that moves a lot. I mean, look, games do it somehow, right? Games have massive worlds, but they don't load everything still. Like, only parts of it is partitioned. So, like, you wouldn't partition, like, the terrain itself, for example. But you partition, like, you would not generate buildings or something like that. And there has to be a way of doing it. I'm not an expert on big open worlds, so I don't have the answer. Okay, what the hell? This reminds me that I need to put in the floating rocks, though. Maybe it's because I didn't put in the floating rocks. It's like, you know what? I don't want to do anything until you put in the floating rocks. Let's go here in the middle. That's where I wanted them. Yeah, honestly, that's fine. One difference is the game is always has the player that moves at a certain speed relatively slow. At that point, you would wonder how Flight Simulator or other games reflect how they work. LODs. they still have things not loaded in at certain distances. They use they just use billboards, which is a card, right? And then when it comes closer, it uses LODs to make that card have a cube, then have some more windows, then have some more right? It's LODs. And at distances is just a card, or multiple things are a card, and then it separates to individual cards, and then that's how you gotta do it. But I can tell you that no game loads an entire environment for 8K. Which is why probably you're requiring at least a 5090 as well. Because you're effectively... What you're doing, I feel like, is basically using Unreal not the way Unreal wants to be used, right? You're forcing it to... You're forcing a workflow that it's not built for. Which is why you're struggling, I think. Where the hell is it? Oh, did I lower the chances of it? Is that why? No? Full chances. I'm gonna do one more chance in here, and then I'll just go to the actual map and just click generate there. I still have one generated. Just to make sure that it works. Is it detecting the sections? Connections? Yeah, there's the two connections. It's there. 2 by 2. It's reading everything correctly. He just doesn't want to place it for some reason. Yeah, let's go to just this one. Archivist people are really pieces of work. Their references are of offline renders like V-Ray, and they expect the same quality on Lumen. There's always a fight for even fewer. Yeah, if you're doing Lumen on an entirely loaded world, I mean, yeah, your stuff is going to be on fire. Oh, there it is, finally. So it can generate. It went with the starting one. Then this is the one we just created. And then it connects here. So it can generate. And there's another one. I think it looks nice. I think out of all of them, this is one of my actually favorites because it has all the layers of within itself. Compared to the other ones that have a little bit of variation, but they don't have this kind of variation. So I'm getting better at them, which is good. I am improving. This is like one of my least favorite ones, but it's fine. We're getting better. I think tomorrow we'll work on the shop. And then the final one will be one of them that did appear here, which I might just remove or... Let's see. It even it wasn't even here, so clearly it's not super needed. Yep. Sweet. Another one down. All right. Yeah, I remember when I worked in Archivist, my supervisor at one point, basically, not at one point, he just, in general, didn't care about naming, didn't care about whether attackers were powers of 2, didn't care about proper topology, didn't care about anything. Just like, just get in. And I struggled so much. It's like I wanted things done properly and like the whole thing. So I understand to a slight degree. But with that is gonna do it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed. Hello and goodbye, Whiplash. And hope you all have a lovely rest of your night. And I'll be back tomorrow for Friday. Have a good night, guys. Take care. Bye bye.